Good evening, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. It's your guy again, DLG Reppin. And I'm live from home this time. I'm not going out. The reason why, because I've just come, I've been at home for the last 2 hours and I feel a bit tired, as you can see. Where do I start? Tottenham, an embarrassing U-turn, furloughing your non-playing staff, huh? You know, you finally decided to not furlough your playing staff. You're going to pay them for April and May. You should have done that from the start. Let me just get my shirt. Sorting out. This is something you should have done from the start, but there you go. Typical you guys. Or typical Levy. I suppose some Tottenham fans will say thank you, and then there's some that will think you're an idiot. And maybe more than some will think it's time for you to sell up. Not that I care. However, you've decided to pay your non-playing staff, and I'm glad some of your players are looking at this and putting money into it. For fuck's sakes. So, yeah, well done to you guys. And as you can see, I'm a little bit tired. And it's been a long day at work. Well, I'm here to talk about the football-related issues. And Tottenham Hotspur, as a club, they have done a U-turn instead of furloughing their players, Just remember, you and every club around Europe that I know, you can't be making big money signings. This is going to hit a lot of clubs who have spent recklessly in the past. No names to be mentioned, they know who they are. And I don't expect Tottenham to be spending any money this summer. Well, not just Tottenham, most clubs, Tottenham not the only one, there's going to be a lot of clubs. But guys, if you have a comment or something to say, then drop your your comment below. Drive the thumbs up, like button, and the last thing I always say, please do subscribe to my channel. Yeah, I've got 16 subscribers, just to let you guys know. All I need is another 984. Yeah, I'm counting them down. Please subscribe to my channel and keep the subscription going. Drive the thumbs up, like button, more than the thumbs down, that of course. And keep tuning in, and I will try my best to try and film as many videos as possible, to keep you guys entertained. I hope I'm keeping you guys entertained. And speaking of Tottenham, Manchester United were reported to want to make a bid of £200 million for Harry Kane. I don't even think deep down Man United will pay that sort of money for Harry Kane. Technically, and in my humble opinion, he's worth 100 million. Because he's an Englishman, which is the fact. Let's face it, yeah? Let's speak the truth. Because he's an Englishman, they will bump up the price, to bump Man United of £200 million. Then again, with their CEO being a bank manager, he might just decide, I want to go ahead with this. I want to pursue this. Let me take charge of this case. Let me go and speak to Daniel Levy. Them two, they'll have a lovely red wine together talking about this potential transfer. Well, At least it keeps Harry Kane in the Premier League, and B, he'll have every chance of breaking the goal-scoring record of Alan Shearer's 260 Premier League goals. Yeah, it is 260 Premier League goals. Yes or no? Again, drop your comments below. So moving on from Tottenham, I'm going to talk about Arsenal. Before I talk about Arsenal's transfer rumours and the players reportedly to refuse to pay cut, I like to talk about some of the Arsenal young players. And the reason why I talk about them, because they are potentially our price assets for the next 2 years. Or 3 years, if you want to state it out, they are price assets for tomorrow. I'm talking about Martinelli and Saka, mainly them two. But I would like to talk a little bit about Reece Nelson and Joe Willock. I'm going to start off with Joe Willock. Now, he gets a lot of stick and a lot of abuse. He gets a lot of criticism and a lot of abuse. Yeah, Joe Willock. Yeah, off the ball, he's one of our best midfielders when we haven't got the ball. He tracks back. His fitness levels are one of the best in the squad. There's tough games. Yeah, I don't mind playing him because he wants to prove that he can violate the bullies. He's been looked at as not being good enough. It's easy to look at him and say he's not being good enough, but he's been out on loan long enough and played enough games to warrant a chance. And what fucks me off about Arsenal fans, one bad game and all of a sudden he's not good enough. He's a championship player. But yet, you fans, you Arsenal fans, and I don't want to say Arsenal fans, but I'm aiming it at 30 to 70% of Arsenal fans that want to get onto Joe Willock's back and slag him off. Now, let me ask you a question. Let me fucking ask you a question. Yeah, the 30 to 70% that I'm aiming at. Yeah, I'm aiming at this. I'm aiming at this at you guys. When was the last time you saw an Arsenal midfielder play away from home and score a long ranger like Joe Willock did versus Liverpool away? Joe Willock can't be a poor player to score that type of goal. I mean, he's got some ability on the ball. At least when he gets the ball, he runs at people, he shoots. All right, maybe he shoots when he should. Maybe he shoots, when he should pass. Passes when he should shoot. Maybe his overall decision making is not the greatest, but it will improve in growth. He will make mistakes, and if you're gonna keep slagging him down, throwing abuse at him, criticising him, it's going to get to him. He's going to feel uncomfortable. His confidence will be damaged. I would like to see him. I wouldn't mind seeing him week in, week out. If there's a reason why he plays week in, week out, there is a purpose for it. Now, let me not compare him to Jordan Henderson, but Jordan Henderson of Liverpool. Loads of Liverpool fans, and maybe you can argue many of football fans up and down the country will not want Jordan Henderson in their team. But guess what? He might not be the best technically in the Liverpool midfield, but one thing for sure, and I mean one thing for sure, he's consistent in his performances. He puts in 7, 8 out of 10 performances. For example, when he's not in the team, Liverpool don't look comfortable at times. The Watford game being a prime example. 3-0 they lost, and Henderson would have been up against a battle versus Capoue, versus Abdoulaye Doucouré, two big physical midfielders. He would have been up against those bullies. Oh, they are. He would have been up against it to try and bully the both of them. And when you see Henderson in the team, he's one of the main reasons why Liverpool went on a 44-game unbeaten run. No one can't tell me that he's crap. No one can't tell me he's not a key figure in Liverpool's title success. He is a Liverpool captain for a reason. He's been captain for the last couple of seasons. Liverpool fans, if you've got anything to say on this matter, yeah, get back to me. Drop your comments below and we'll have a discussion. And I mean we'll have a discussion. And I don't see why he should not be captain. I mean, there can be a case for Van Dijk. And don't get me wrong, Van Dijk's a world-class centre-half right now, the best in the world in his position and in what he does. But I can tell you right now, talking from the heart, Henderson plays with a heart, he plays with passion, he's committed, he's enthusiasm, and he's stuff of steel, you know. I remember watching Liverpool play at home to Watford, and I was talking to a Liverpool fan about him, and he didn't seem happy about Henderson being in the team. And he's asking me questions, what does he bring to the team? He doesn't know what he brings to the team. But I said to him, look, you need that type of midfield player that is not exactly technical on the ball. Not all that dribble, wibble, get past the player. You just need someone that his job here is to get the ball, give it to a player better than him, and keep it simple. And that's what he does. He gets the ball, he keeps it simple. Passing simple. He doesn't give it away as much. But even passing the ball forward, he's improving. You know, when you're asking the midfield player to look for forward passes, he's improving that this season. Maybe last season. He's been one of Liverpool's best performers. Definitely one of Liverpool's best performers, if not maybe Liverpool's best performer this season. Overall. Maybe Liverpool's best performer this season. He definitely deserves a shout for Liverpool Player of the Season. Yeah? And I'm talking about Henderson because as an Arsenal fan, I don't see why Joe Willock can't be our Jordan Henderson. You know? He goes to Anfield. How many Arsenal players in the last 20 fucking years? 20 fucking years! Goes to Anfield, yeah? And scores a wonder goal. Like he did. When he made it 5-4. And he was unlucky not to have that as the winning goal that night. Because Origi equalised. I watched that game live on the telly. 5-4 it was. And I know it finished 5-4 after full time. But he scored arguably the best goal that night. He's picked up the ball from Guendouzi. He's run through the midfield, shifted it to his right, and unleashed an unstoppable rocket from 20 plus yards. That was a goal worth comparing to Vieira's goal against Newcastle, 1998 April. I think it was the end of April 1998. I remember that game where Vieira unleashed an unstoppable 25-yarder effort. No keeper in the world would have saved that. And Willock unleashes a similar strike. You know? He's been quoted as not being good enough. He had a poor game against Olympiacos, and I did give him a marking of between 4 to 6. If you go back to my video, go and have a look at it and go and listen to what I've said about that game. However, I've got patience to wait. I've got the patience for him because I feel there is a footballer in him and a good, honest player in him, you know. And I like the fact that Mikel Arteta, he's willing to play the Willocks, the Reece Nelsons, Saka and Martinelli for different reasons, you know. And if we don't, I don't know how we don't have any money to spend. when quite clearly there's money in that bank that needs to be spent. You can get Upamecano if you convince him. You can get Thomas Partey if you sell him the dream. You know, not with just false promises. Show him the money. Not show him the money, but show him the passion. Show him the heart. Show him the ambition. And you get them players. And if you playing Joe Willock alongside a Partey, Willock's game will increasingly get better. Thomas Partey is possibly what Willock needs. You know? Because if Torreira is to go to AC Milan, and he really means what he said about him being homesick and how much he misses Italy, then let him go. Just let him go. Let's be real, just let him go. We get a Thomas Partey in there. If we're playing the 4-3-3, Partey, Willock, and Ceballos, if we can seal that deal on a permanent basis. I don't know if we play a 4-2-3-1 or 4-2 or 4-1-4-1. Yeah, Willock will be heavily part of my plans. Hands down. I mean, he's got goals in him. That I know. But he's not been given a real fair opportunity. And Xhaka, who's just about 7 out of 10, or fucking 2, 3, 4 out of 10 waiting to happen every fucking other week, or maybe every week. You know? He's just unmobile. We're playing Willock over Xhaka. That will justify how mobile he is. He might commit a foul. He might commit a foul. He might go into a tackle and win it. He's more likely to win more tackles than Xhaka. He gets around the pitch a lot more than Xhaka. That tells me he's a lot fitter than Xhaka. All he has to do is just give it to someone who's better than him. Just gets the ball and not give the ball away. Just knows when to look up, keep his head up when he's got the ball at his feet, know where his teammates are. You know when to make a good pass and know when to shoot when it's necessary. And he will do that. And like I said about Willock in his defence, that goal against Liverpool at Anfield in the Carling Cup. How many fucking Arsenal players in the last 10 or 20 years have gone to Anfield or gone to any away ground and scored a 20-plus yard goal? If you want to argue that, yeah, with me, leave your comment below, yeah? I'm waiting. Other than that, if you're feeling this video, thumbs up button. And please do subscribe. Especially subscribe, please. I need the subscriptions, yeah? We can have a chat. I mean, he's not the best. You know, he's not one of the best, but time will tell if you give him games after games. Xhaka hasn't got the ability of Joe Willock, not overall. For me, playing Willock every week in and week out, he can't do any worse than Xhaka. I mean, don't get me wrong, maybe Guendouzi gets ahead of him, but with Guendouzi, he's not a man who will get you goals from midfield. I think if you ask me about Xhaka, Willock, and Guendouzi, I think Willock will be the one to get us goals from midfield. He's a type of up and down box to box midfield player you need in that team. You know, that he could save us splashing out 45, 60 million plus on another midfielder that is going to want to come in and play alongside Partey. And plus, he's an English player, young English player. You know, How many of them do we have in our team? Saka's the only one. Saka's progressed so well. 10 assists this season. That's double figures in assists. And he's got 1 or 2 good goals, especially the one against Bournemouth. Cracking left foot. Martinelli we bought, but there is a hell of a player in him. But again, he was dropped for a couple of games that I can remember due to the fact that he was even in for burnout. I'll tell you what, pre-season is going to be hectic. And speaking of pre-season, last pre-season, Willock impressed. So why is he not in the first team? Because he's not ready. Willock's played. He's played games before. I think he's played games 2 seasons ago. And then you send him out on loan last season. That's understandable. Against Newcastle in the first league game of the season, he was not bad. In fact, I see him running through Newcastle's midfield that contained Jandre Shelvey and maybe Longstaff. He has no fear. And that's what we need. He's the type of midfielder that will win over the fans gradually. If our fucking fickle maximum 70% of our fan base gets behind him and supports him. When he's down, encourage him. Pick him up. As long as he wears the red and white shirt, try and back him to the best of your ability. Try your best to back him. Just try your fucking best. That's all we're asking for. Obviously, if he does well, then you praise him. When he's not doing so well, yeah, constructive criticism. But try and lift him up. Because if you knock him down, it feels like we're playing with 10 men. And he's in the first team. You knock him down, and you knock another players down, what? It will feel like we're playing with 8 men. Arsenal fans, you really need to take a reality check on yourselves. Look yourself in the fucking mirror and ask yourself, why do you fucking boo your own players? I admit I booed Xhaka for his unprofessional behaviour when asked to come off against Crystal Palace at home. Not only did he behave in an unprofessional manner, but he was our club captain. He's meant to set the example of a club captain, a role model professional footballer. That's my reason for booing him. And I do give my reasons for him. But I have just admitted that I did boo Granit Xhaka. I've admitted that. It's not nice. It was wrong. And those will argue he should never have told the fans to fuck off. He should never have thrown the shirt on the floor, thrown the armband on the floor. He should never have done that. And that was at the point where we need some urgency. We've conceded 2 goals after being 2 goals up. We just let a 2 goals lead slip, and we need urgency, And overall, we should have won that fucking game. But that's another story. But going back on my young players, yeah, my defence on Willock is he's got a lot more than potential than what viewers see him as. All he can do is get that red and white shirt on, get his opportunity, and keep working hard in training. I bet you it wouldn't surprise me if he's much better performance-wise in training than Granit Xhaka. I think he's an overall better midfield player. He likes to come forward and chip in with a few goals. And there's nothing wrong in that. But in the final third, sometimes he even knows that he's going to have to make the right decision, whether to shoot or give it to a player better than him. He'll learn that. He'll pick that up. It's just a matter of time. I'm sure if he wants to really improve himself, if he wants to make himself as best as he can be, stay behind in training and work on your fitness levels. Well, your fitness levels is fantastic, superb. Just work on the weaknesses that threatens to derail your career, meaning your thinking, meaning knowing when to shoot, meaning knowing when to pass, and head up as always when your ball's at your feet, and knowing where your teammates are. You work on them qualities, Joe, you have got a promising future. Not as an Arsenal player, but as a modern day professional footballer. You will become top class and above top class. It can happen, Joe Willock. Just believe in yourself, you know. Just continue to work on the parts of your game where it's not quite working yet. And you'll work hard. Off the ball, you would be ideal to play in the big games because we ain't got no legs in the midfield. You need legs and engine, and you've got that. Like I said, that hence the reason why I'm talking about your fitness levels. I praise it. You've got that. And guts. And a fight. You've got that. Right, the other player I want to talk about now, Reiss Nelson. His last game was against Portsmouth away, and he did well. And yeah, some will say it's because it's only Portsmouth League One. You are put in a position. Wait, let me say it in another way. You have been selected, Reiss Nelson. Yeah, Reiss Nelson's been selected to play against Portsmouth, and you can only perform what's in front of you. And perform what's in front of him, he did. Sublime performance for me. I thought he was my man of the match, personally. He puts in 2 fine crosses. Nothing wrong with the crosses he puts in. And he claims 2 assists, and rightfully so. That day. I think he's got overall I think he's got a bright future. Arteta likes him. I like him. You know? The last time I watched Reiss Nelson live was at home to Chelsea, the game that we lost. But I'll tell you what, yeah, he was asking the left back questions when giving the ball. All right, Pepe took his place at the business end of the game, but he was asking questions of the Chelsea left back there that game. Overall, I think he's got a bright future at the club. Very quick and tricky winger he is. And he looks like he likes to beat a man and he enjoys what he does. I just hope he gets more of an opportunity. He's been out on loan the last 2 seasons. Why would he want to go out on loan again? Why? So, enough about the young players. I'm going to talk about Arsenal's ambition. Well, I'm talking about the Arsenal ambition. But when I talk about Arsenal's ambition, I'm going to talk about Stan Kroenke. This is the time, Stan Kroenke, to show your true colours. In fact, you are showing your true colours. You have shown it. It seems to me you just don't care. The LA Rams Stadium is more important than Arsenal Football Club. Why did you actually really purchase it? I do not know. Obviously, you fucked us right off there. You have really fucked us right off. Every time I hear about you, nothing but fucking more shit about you. You just piss us off. I just wish you could just go away. Really, just go away. Because we're in a pandemic crisis, you know, and you expect the players to take a pay cut to help fund their NHS. Why don't you put your hands in your fucking pocket? You've got over £8 billion of price of assets. It wouldn't hurt you to contribute 30% of your wages, wouldn't it? But you're just a tight man. And I don't see why I don't see why the players should be just paying the NHS workers, well, taking a 30% pay cut to pay the NHS. And this bollocks about taking, or the players having a pay cut if we don't get into the Champions League. Like, really? Let's think about this carefully, yeah? We're 9th in the league. We're 10, 11 points away from top 4. We'll be lucky to get into the top 7. Let's be real. We'll be lucky to get into the top 7. Really? And if they don't get into the Europe, you're going to ask them to have a pay cut. Players are not going to be happy. We'll have more exodus by the time you know it. And then what? Are you going to charge the fans? Are you going to increase the season ticket prices? Because if you do, all hell will break loose on you, Kroenke. All hell will break loose on you if you dare even think about it. Josh Kroenke, you best start talking to your dad. You seriously need to have words with your dad. Because I'm not happy with your dad. He's taken the piss for so long. He really has. But other than that, you know, how serious are Arsenal? How serious are Arsenal on the fact that it's been on the story that has been reported, not a fact, the story that has been reported that we've bid to buy Thomas Partey for 50 million. I'll believe it when he's wearing the Arsenal shirt or holding it in his hands. You know? Because I don't believe a word that comes out of the reporters' mouths, especially David Ornstein. The majority of the time, he normally comes up with bollocks. Well, he has come up with a lot of bollocks. All right, recently he has got things right in terms of the Arsenal transfers and what comes in and who comes in and who comes out. I have no belief over it. Not so ever. So I'm going to leave it on this year. My rant's over. I've been on this. I've been filming on this for half hour now. So you guys, you know what to do, yeah? Click on the thumbs up button more than down. Leave your comments below and please do subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate that, yeah? Please do subscribe and keep subscribing. And that'll be me much more happier. Other than that, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gone again, yeah? Peace, bless and love. It's your guy, DLG Reppin.